Test, test. What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with the next set from the Premier League Season 4. I'm going to be bringing you Absolute Legends on the Radiant versus Team Dignitas on the Dire. And since I had that short break of casting, I don't know what the current standings are, but I'm pretty sure at this point AL are not doing too great. To put it lightly, they're not getting anything done at all. So best of luck to them in this game versus Team Dignitas, who I'm pretty sure aren't doing too hot either. So it should be a good one. I do enjoy watching both of these teams. Team Dignitas, known for pulling out some really weird strategies. They're the ones who ran that Spectre with the Warlock, and they even run the Warlock without the Spectre as well, for mixed results, but hey, it's always fun to watch. Absolute Legends, they're running into a couple of rough spots along this tournament. However, I do think they have what it takes to do well in the other tournaments that they participate in. This one might at this point be a lost cause for them. But regardless, I'm always pulling for AL. Do like the entire organization, really, as well as the people who are actually playing on the team. Have been following these guys for a long time, and I do enjoy watching them play. But this game is going to get underway with the 3 picks. On the AL side, Nyx Assassin is going to be the first pick up, followed by the Gyrocopter as well as the Nature's Prophet. Really solid amount of damage coming out from these 3 heroes. Picking up the Nyx Assassin first, always a solid support hero. Pairs well with the Gyrocopter, just a simple stun into a Rocket Barrage. Solid lane combos there. And also AL, they have the potential to be very aggressive along the map. Nature's Prophet combined with the Nyx. If you have a Nyx scouting out, looking for someone in the jungle or in the lanes or whatever, you could pop out with that Vendetta, do a heavy damage. Nature's Prophet with the ultimate or teleport, or both really, could really seal the deal. So AL, with those 2 picks, do have some solid ganking. However, it's going to be difficult for them to really be effective in that ganking because Team Dignitas, with all 3 of their picks, pick up heroes that are rather tanky. One from each alignment: intelligence, agility, and strength. The Darkseer, Lone Druid, and Beastmaster can withstand the kind of punishment that Nyx as well as Nature's Prophet will be throwing around, unless AL's heroes get really, really stacked. But yeah, Lone Druid, of course, has had that bear form, so he's not going to worry too much about just 2-man ganks. Darkseer always builds tanky with a mech. Beastmaster generally does the same thing. I'm not sure how Team Dignitas like to run their Beastmaster. I'm expecting him in the solo mid position, but I don't know if he's going to be doing like a hood pipe rush or something like that, or go for Urn, go for Book. And the options are wide open, but all of those will increase his health pool, make him a little bit tankier, combined with the fact that he is, of course, a strength hero. It has some decent strength growth. He'll be fine to withstand this ganking. Team Dignitas do have a decent amount of pushing and scouting as well. Lots of means to make things happen on their side. Surge into a Roar is fantastic initiation, pretty much 100% guaranteed, and Lone Druid with that bear on the front lines as well to scout out what AL is doing. Bans all completed now. Bane Elemental, Shadow Demon, getting rid of some more setup support heroes that the Gyrocopter typically does pair well with. Magnus as well, mostly just get rid of that solo mid potential. And AL, they're aiming to ban out pretty much all solo mid heroes. Tinker as well as the Queen of Pain would give Team Dignitas a good amount of burst, which right now they're kind of lacking. The only real nuke that they have is the Wild Axes. And then of course they have like Ion Shell and Roar, but I know it's kind of, well, one's an ultimate, and the Ion Shell is not exactly the most dependable damage dealing tool. Clockwork as well, getting rid of the hard lane for Team Dignitas. However, I think it was mostly a mid lane Clockwork ban because they do have the Darkseer. So I'm expecting to see the Darkseer, Darkseer in one lane, Lone Druid in another, and Beastmaster in another. Most likely Beastmaster mid, Lone Druid safe, and Darkseer hard. Team Dignitas still are going to be looking for a couple of support heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
And AL, their support hero choice is going to be the Rubik, so an incredibly powerful hero in this particular game. Not the most useful versus the Lone Druid as far as spell stealing. I guess you could steal the bear, but then he doesn't have any items. Like, you get the Entangle, but it's not the best spell to steal. But stealing a Roar or stealing a Surge or a Wall or anything like that, those are some really, really good spells that Rubik can steal. If he get his hands on those, then AL's teamfight is going to become that much stronger. And Team Dignitas going to respond with the Shadow Shaman. Has a couple more very valuable spells that, well, Shadow Shaman has a couple valuable spells that Rubik can steal. Serpent Wards versus Serpent Wards is always fun to watch. And AL going to run the Alchemist. So it's actually going to be an Alchemist lane instead of a Gyrocopter lane. Gyrocopter probably going to be soloing mid then. Interesting pickup from AL. Seen Alchemist work for varying degrees of success. I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Mouse that ran an Alchemist in the... No, was it AL? It might have been AL. It was AL or Mouse, I don't know. That ran Alchemist as a aggressive tri-lane, not really as a primary farmer because he got a whole bunch of the unstable concoction and really didn't get a lot done. I remember mentioning in that cast that really what Alchemist did, you could do even better with a Sven. Just get that regular place done, which is really what they were using Alchemist for. But if Alchemist does get the farm, then he's going to be able to tear through Team Dignitas' side. No matter how tanky they may be, it's going to be really hard to go up against an Alchemist who's attacking like 3 times a second. Combine that with a Gyrocopter who's going to be most likely getting the farm in the mid lane. I don't see Gyrocopter having his farm contested all that much versus, well, Beastmaster. Hell, no one on Team Dignitas, if they solo mid, can really contest a Gyrocopter heavily, except for possibly the Lone Druid. But unless Team Dignitas run the Lone Druid there, which I don't think they will, or run a dual lane, Gyrocopter should find his farm as well. So if AL just play it safe, get the Alchemist on the safe lane, get the Gyrocopter there as well, then they should be fine. Ah, there's someone who can contest the Gyrocopter. It's going to be the Puck. Right now, Team Dignitas, though, they are kind of support light. Usually you want 2 heroes that sacrifice a lot of their items, go roaming, go pulling, and really play that support role. Shadow Shaman is going to be one of them, but then, aside from that, what do you have? You have Puck, Darkseer, and those are pretty much the only options you have, and wow, interesting. It's going to be Puck, who's going to be played by one of the supporting heroes of Team Dignitas. I believe Way Too Sexy is the 4 role, although for a lot of teams it's hard to determine who plays 4 and who plays 5. But yeah, I think Tides of Time plays 5 and Way Too Sexy plays 4. So interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly if Team Dignitas are going to lane this according to their players right now. They might do a little bit of swapping with the lanes, with the characters, with heroes and players. But still, very, very weird way to approach this game by Team Dignitas. They will need a lot of farm, Lone Druid especially, but Puck needs his Blink Dagger. Beastmaster always excels with a lot of farm. Shadow Shaman's the only one who really does not. So on the AL side, let's run through what they have. They have Rise, that Gyrocopter. It's going to be playing that solo mid role most likely, a little bit of Wraith Band for a little bit of extra harassment and pushback in that lane. Miracle is on the Nyx Assassin. Mania is going to be playing that Nature's Prophet. Miggle is going to be on the Rubik heading down towards the bot lane to support Han Solo. I do believe that is Unicorn on the Alchemist, also on the bot lane. Owie 2000, he's going to be playing the Lone Druid on the bot lane, solo hard lane Lone Druid. Now this is interesting. I would not have expected this from the way Dignitas have assigned their players to their heroes, but Owie on the Lone Druid, you would kind of expect that, but you wouldn't expect him in this particular lane. Fogged is going to be on that Beastmaster, soloing the mid lane, be having a rough time against this Gyrocopter, but he should be okay once he gets his bottle. Universe is on the Darkseer, and let's take a look at his items. Yeah, lots of restorative, Stout Shield. He's probably going to go for just straight up jungling. Probably going to help Tides of Time, who's playing on the Shadow Shaman, with the pulling, and Way Too Sexy soloing the top lane as the Puck. And this is, I guess, kind of a benefit for Team Dignitas. If I am completely surprised by the way they're laning this, then most likely AL are surprised as well. However, AL, their lane flexibility, although it is there to a certain extent, they could choose to run an aggressive tri-lane with the Alchemist or something like that, or just run the Nature's Prophet as a jungle and forego the top lane completely. The flexibility from AL simply isn't there, and that's going to mean that Team Dignitas have this momentary advantage where the heroes are revealed in the lanes, and then everyone goes, wow, that's not what I expected. I wonder if I should do a lane switch. Fogged, though, in a lot of trouble. Miggle, where are you going? You could have just telekinesed and right into a rocket barrage. But I guess he has better things to do. He's going to go look for Universe. Ah, D-ward, okay. Or rather, ward off that camp. Yeah, so Fogged versus Rise in the mid lane should be a relatively even battle, although Fogged, wow, really leading the way in terms of CS. Even though Miggle is coming from the back, they didn't choose to go aggressive on the Beastmaster. I feel like that might have been a mistake. If you pressure him back, that means that he's forced to burn through his tangos. That means you only spend, what, 90 and 100 mana on those spells to really put that hurt onto Fogged, and that means his bottle's delayed. But right now his bottle is flying out to him, or walking out to him, and he should be fine to maintain his hold on this lane. despite the fact that Rise does have that Wraith Band as well as the eventual Flat Cannon to push the Beastmaster back. I expect Rise to take control of this lane a little bit more once he gets a couple more levels of that Flat Cannon. Top lane is just going to be way too sexy, having the easiest time of his life. Usually Puck's in the mid lane, and usually it's not way too sexy playing it. However, playing that Puck on this top lane will mean that the Blink Dagger will come incredibly quickly. We're going to have to see if Puck wants to go for a straight Blink Dagger rush, just hold what he has now, maybe sell a branch, eat tangos or whatever, and then purchase his Blink Dagger, get that incredibly quickly, or if he wants to delay that, possibly get a couple arcane boots or some sort of treads or something like that. But he will have that flexibility most likely. Tides of Time will finally find some time to level up. Usually Tides is at level 1 for most of the game, but just babysitting this Puck, fairly easy to do, and he's just going to be pulling all day long. No real need for him to dip into the lane because, hey, there's no one there. Miguel and Miracle, both in the jungle, joined by Mania, who decided that he is most likely not going to go to that top lane for quite a while. That Shadow Shaman is an incredibly potent threat, so might as well just avoid that completely. Unicorn in the spot lane versus Owie, 2 for 0 versus 11 for 1. No surprises there. The Alchemist having a very easy time. Smoke up, Miguel and Miracle looking for a kill onto Fog. If they pull him into the Rocket Barrage of Rise, that's exactly what's going to happen. Teleportation support coming in as well. The Barrage not doing all that much damage to Fog, but just with the right clicks alone, they should be able to take down this first blood. Bottle Charge not going to help him, and the Rubik does pick up that first blood. I would prefer to give it to the Gyrocopter, but hey, first blood is first blood, and that's going to give Rubik boots as well as a Flying Courier. Aha, yes, it will indeed. Of course, that left Han Solo alone on the bot lane, no pull support or anything like that, so Owie is going to find a little bit of free experience on this bottom lane. Not really going to be too substantial, however. Lone Druid, with a little bit of experience, like, until he gets to that level 5 mark, he's pretty much just useless. This bear is, it's a poking device, but without the entangle, it's not that great. So, Unicorn really having an easy time on this bottom lane, and he's getting a lot of farm versus the farm that the Puck is getting. Well, I mean, Puck could really use his farm in the mid game if he gets a Blink Dagger, if he gets Power Treads. All those items are great for the mid game, whereas Puck, and that is where Puck really shines. Get lots of Illusory Orb, lots of Waning Rift, deal some decent burst damage, even though the spells don't really have the highest damage in the game. Just having those spells maxed out before everyone else is really going to help him. But come late game, the farm that Unicorn is getting means that he's going to be an unstoppable monster. Because this is all investment for AL. They're just investing in their Alchemist, whereas Dignitas is more of a short-term investment. They're investing in way too sexy, make sure he gets his early items up, and then possibly go for a little bit of early aggression. Fog's doing pretty well in this mid lane, 19 for 6 versus 21 for 3. Rise has pulled it back just a little bit. That Flat Cannon helping out a whole bunch. But the real threat is that Fogged is almost at his level 6 mark. Once he has that, he could probably not go for a solo kill onto Rise. That's probably going to be a mistake. But rotation from the Beastmaster will mean that the jungle and bottom lane is a little bit vulnerable. He'll need help from the other two heroes in the jungle universe, possibly Tides of Time as well, and definitely Owie, just because Owie wants to be involved in those kills. But yeah, Fogged will be able to rotate at that point. However, Rise will be level 6 before him, so he will have that call down, kind of counter an ultimate with an ultimate, although Primal Roar a lot more useful versus the single targets. I'm pretty sure you could lift the bear from over here and then put it over here, and then keep attacking it and then kill it. I'm pretty sure the cliff change only worked when you put it from like this middle river area up, although I haven't tested it, so I should test it. It seems like a good tool. If you keep attacking the Spirit Bear, he's never going to be returned. Then Owie is pretty much crippled. Force out, they resummon. But regardless, we're going to have a relatively tame opening here with only one kill being dropped to the first blood. But they really want the Spirit Bear. Miracle even throwing out an Impale for it. And Unicorn diving pretty deep for Owie. Teleportation support feigning. It's going to be a stun on the Alchemist. Gonna pop that ultimate. In the meantime, Gyrocopter picking up the Beastmaster in the middle lane. There's the blink. There's the teleport in, as well as the Dream Coil. And are you kidding me? That is kind of unfortunate. Well, okay, so Team Dignitas. It's gonna be a 2 versus 2. Dream Coil onto 2. Alchemist doesn't have a spell for another 3 seconds, and Miracle's all out of mana. Owie is stunned up, but he does have the bear. So I do think this will be at least one hero going for Team Dignitas. If they focus down the Alchemist, or no, they focus down the Nyx Assassin actually, Assassin is a lot softer because of this insane regeneration that the Alchemist has. Even though he has 2 less armor than the Nyx Assassin, I do think Nyx is probably a better target. But Bowie just turns around and way too sexy, throwing out his Waning Rift as well as Illusion Orb. That should be enough to kill off Miracle. Although it looks like everyone from Team Dignitas is having a couple of problems, so we're just going to skip on through this pause phase. I do think, yeah, this fight should... right. Actually, did I pause that completely? I have no idea, but let's take a look at the mid lane where Ryze actually went for a solo kill versus the Beastmaster. Roar was used, and Universe will be able to punch Ryze down in one hit. Should be enough to kill him. Will definitely be enough to kill him, actually. And even if he doesn't, he could just follow through with a couple more hits. Actually, let's take a look at this first, because this will end a lot quicker than the other fight. So we're going to see if Darkseer can pick up the Gyrocopter in one punch, and then we're going to jump straight over to this bottom lane. And here we go. Waiting for the unpause. Ryze already has picked up a kill solo, so he's going to have a lot of reliable gold. But he has a lot more unreliable gold, though, so he's going to lose gold from this no matter what. Let's see if Universe can do this. Punch him. Oh, he has Iron Shell on him. Yeah, he's going to be just fine. Illusion Orb going to fly out. Miracle as well as Unicorn, both stuck. They're both going to break the Dream Coil, however, in Tides of Time teleporting in for one shock. Hex onto Miracle is going to land way too sexy in the front, doing a little bit of body blocking, and Universe has moved down from the mid lane, and it's going to be 3 kills for Team Dignitas. Now, usually I don't like pauses, but that was actually pretty cool. Just seeing all these fights happen, and, well, I mean, you go back to that whole tactical pausing thing. It obviously wasn't a tactical pause since Miggle was falling back when clearly he should be with his team fighting, and then, you know, Beastmaster disconnected as well. But just having those couple of seconds to figure out what you're doing, and Dignitas is going, okay, Darkseer, kill the Gyrocopter, then swing down as fast as you can. Illusion Orb, Waning Rift, make sure you focus this guy. And then AL is like, okay, we're just going to run. We're just going to run, because we know we can't do anything here. Mania might be in a little bit of trouble, is way too sexy. Doesn't have his Dream Coil, but he is going to find Nature's Prophet. He does have a lot of health, but he's going to teleport out of there. He's going to be just fine. Silence or not, able to get out of there safely. Where did he go, actually? He went back to the base. Miracle has moved to this mid lane. Going to get a little bit of experience versus Fogged. However, the Roar will be up in 3 seconds. Axes as well, level 3, will be maxed out first. And Ryze, he's holding on to his Ring of Aquila. Nothing else at the moment. Probably going to see a magic wand from him, and then maybe phase boots, or maybe just go straight Shadow Blade. Expect some combination of those items within the upcoming minutes. And Unicorn already with power treads as well as 1,000 gold. This guy is farming like a monster. I do think the quote-unquote standard Alchemist build, whenever you do see an Alchemist, is a Shadow Blade as well. Increased survivability is always nice, and the attack speed and mobility that you get from it is amazing too. I personally am a big fan of Radiance Rush in the Alchemist, however, I never actually pull that off successfully, unfortunately, but we're going to see what why do I keep calling him Universe? I have no idea why I keep doing that. It's kind of weird. She got Liquid on the mine, I suppose. No, Bulba's on... Who's Universe? Whose team is Universe? I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now. It's Unicorn. There's one thing. One verse or one corn. I mean, small distinction. Come on. Unicorn is going to have all the time and free space in the world. He's going to pick up a Claymore, so he's... could go for a Battle Fury even, although I don't think that's going to be it. Serpent Wards have been dropped Tides of Time, reaching a very early level 6 actually. Let's take a look at how the supports are doing. Level 3, level 4 AL. They're hurting on the levels of their supports already with Tides of Time just pulling the entire time. Has picked up Serpent Wards, and he's going to translate that into a tier 1 tower. Bottom lane, a little bit of a push attempt. Mania with a lot of Treants actually. Do they have a Ring of Basilius? No, they don't, so not that extra armor on those Treants. However, the person in danger is going to be Ryze. He's being stalked by an invisible Universe. Oh, Universe is on Team Dignitas. Of course, of course. Axe is going to fly as well as the Roar of Ryze. Going to get shredded by the Iron Shell. Courier is going to fly on through. Fall down is going to fall, and Miggle, with one more right click, will be able to kill off Darkseer, but bottling up, and wow, look at that movement speed and regeneration combination right there. Universe will make his way out. I'm just like, my brain is not present right now. It is too early in the morning to cast, but I have free time, so I might as well do it. So yeah, Universe will also have some pretty good options. 1,400 gold on him. Probably will see a mech build-up. Yes, it will be a mech build-up. Buckler already picked up, and wow, instantly smoking, actually. I mean, you could get to the front lines pretty quickly with that surge, but I don't know if that's actually worth it. Usually you want to smoke a little bit closer to where you could actually make things happen. But way too sexy. Now with the Blink Dagger, could have that initiation guaranteed with that early maxed out Waning Rift. Nagel has moved down to this mid lane now. Fogged 20 seconds away until his roar is up. Belt of Giant Strength on him. Probably going to be Treads. Possibly going to be a straight Necrobook, although, yeah, Treads is a lot more likely. Nagel just holding on to this lane just a little bit. He wants to get that level 6. He wants that spell steal. The sooner you get that, the better. Oh, way too sexy. Going to initiate onto Rise, dropping the Dream Coil. Ion Shell plus a blink forward in front of the Gyrocopter will kill off the Gyrocopter for the third time. Yes, third time. Phase Boots and Ring of Aquila. He's getting slowed down an awful lot this game. Nagel is going to steal Wild Axes. Unfortunately, not enough mana to actually use it. And Dignitas have found a stack of AL that Gyrocopter has been planning for a couple minutes now. Is going to use Black Cannon or maybe even save it for Alchemist. But Dignitas, with their Wild Axes to clear that off, as well as Universe just to tank everything up, they will clear off this entire stack. A lot of wasted time for Gyrocopter, which he would have had a substantial jump in his income. Now, of course, it is all going to go towards Team Dignitas. Nyx still not at that level 6 mark, and Tides of Time is actually leveling up pretty decently, kind of uncharacteristic of him, where he usually doesn't get anything in the way of levels. But he does have the Serpent Wards up, and Roar should be up as well. They could go for a kill on this mid lane. Roar into a Ward Trap, not onto the Gyrocopter because he does have Phase Boots. Miracle, though, will be vulnerable to that, and Miggle, of course, will be vulnerable to that as well. Preliminary axes flying out, and Miracle looking for initiation onto Fogged. They drop a call down as well as a level 3 Rocket Barrage that will be enough to kill off the Beastmaster. As tanky as he may be, he is not invulnerable, and yeah, it's going to be a very, very quick Shadow Blade. 11 minutes done for Unicorn. Alright, I do think it's just going to be a little bit more farming for him. Hold that TP scroll in case things get hairy in the mid lane. But other than that, he's been farming the jungle, he's been farming the lane, he's been getting himself a lot of gold. Maxed out on that Greevil's Greed. Now going to move to the top lane where there is a substantial creep wave. Going to shake that potion, but everyone is way too far away. Han Solo is going to stun himself. He did not shoot first this time. He shot himself, actually, so yeah, but it's just more farm for Unicorn, no big deal. Miracle with that Vendetta is going to open up on Owie, probably just cap him and then run away. He missed. That didn't actually work. He didn't hit him. Wait, did he? The red numbers weren't there, however, Owie is pretty low on HP, like in comparison to how much damage he does. Don't know if he messed that up or not. There was no red numbers, but I'm pretty sure he messed it up. Pretty sure that happened. Bottom lane push on from Team Dignitas, dropping the wards once again. Every time these wards are up, you want to drop them and you want to get a tower from them, or a decent team fight from them. So far, Tides of Time has been doing a good job at doing so. Another 90 seconds, and then the pushes will continue. Mid lane probably will be a priority, or hell, even go for a tier 2 tower. A little bit more difficult, but with a lone druid there, if the lone druid is there, then the towers will fall extremely quickly to that combination of the only level 2 aura on the Beastmaster, prioritizing a couple points in Call the Wild after maxing out the Wild Axes. But once that happens, the push, or the additional attack speed from the bear, combined with the demolish, and what else does the bear have? Nothing yet, just Phase Boots. Owie having an extremely rough time on that bottom lane, has not died, however, so he's going to jungle it up from here until whenever he gets his next big item. Probably going to be the armlet, because that is the broken item that everyone is deciding to get. Miracle as well as Miggle looking for a kill in the enemy jungle. They're going to run straight into Tides of Time. Vendetta hit, Impale, Fade Bolt, and a Mana Burn to cap it all off. Shadow Shaman dying for free. However, the Spirit Bear does have Phase Boots, and he wants blood. He's going to go for Miracle. The Dream Coil's dropped only onto Miggle, so Miggle is going to be the target. Might as well go for him. He could steal the Dream Coil right now. No, there's the Illusory Orb. He's going to throw it right back and jaunt to it. Oh, it's not in time. Miggle's already dead. Killed by the Lone Druid. Gonna give Lone Druid his first kill and some much needed gold on this hero. Only 500, but he has his basic items 100% complete for the most part. Tranquil as well as Phase Boots, even a Ring of Basilius. Don't really usually see that on Lone Druid until very, very later, much later, when he might go for a Vlad's. But other than that, he's probably gonna go for a couple damage items right now. Universe as well as Fogged in this mid lane, looking for a kill with that Roar. AO, they're playing a little bit cautiously right now. They have Rise farming in the jungle. They have Unicorn, who's farming up that top lane. He's now maxed out on his stun, and he's going to start working on that acid spray. So once he has that, the pushes from him will be a little bit more intense. However, it's really just all about accelerating that farm. right now. It's really hard for Team Dignitas to kill that hero. Alchemist incredibly tanky. There's decent damage on Team Dignitas, but I don't know if it's enough damage to burn through all of that chemical rage, combined with the invisibility that he has. Tide of Time does have 1 sentry ward, but I'm afraid that's it for Team Dignitas. No, they have actually 3 sentry wards, so they should be fine. There we go. Serpent wards have been popped up after going off of cooldown. Siege Creep is going to be the first thing to fall, but Mania is long range, trying to clear off these Serpent wards. Fortification going to slow them down, and the Serpent ward push ultimately unsuccessful from Team Dignitas, forcing everyone from AL onto this mid lane, with the exception of Unicorn, but all of Team Dignitas are here as well, so they really, really want this tower. Now we're going to come from the sidelines, begin the bear beatdown. Rise going to get hit by a roar. Is there any follow-up? However, Way Too Sexy looking for a Dream Coil, going to catch 2. Miracle as well as Rise, however, they're going to turn and fight. Fall down onto Tides as well as Way Too Sexy, going to do some heavy damage to them as well as the bear. Here comes Universe. Not Universe, it's Unicorn. Going to go for Universe. We're just going to throw out the stun and then fall back. Team Dignitas burn a lot of spells, but, you know, AL do as well. And ultimately, it is only a tower gain for Team Dignitas. Could have been a lot worse for both teams, quite honestly. So I think Team Dignitas are going to be very happy that they went in, got the tower, didn't lose anyone to the Alchemist or anything like that, and then got out safely. Mania's going to jump right back down to the bot lane. However, try to push that out. Team AL, or Absolute Legends, have yet to pick up a single tower. This one is decently low. Mid lane, not a chance. Top lane, probably the second priority for them. But then again, pushing isn't exactly AL's priority either. They want to get this Alchemist farm, they want to get this Gyrocopter farm, and if you push at the same time, then, well, that's fantastic, but you don't really have the Serpent wards, which you kind of need to push. If you pick up the Shadow Shaman, that's a large indication that you want to push. It's a hero that's fallen off a little bit, I say a little bit, fallen off majorly as of late, just because, well, before, during TI2 and everything, you were up against the Morphling and the Naga Siren. You need these hard disables. But also there was a lot more pushing involved, and that is where Serpent wards really come into play. Other than that, Shadow Shaman is a very, very slow hero. You can see with Arcane Boots only at 345 movement speed, so he is a slug. Bottom lane is taking a little bit more damage, but we have Universe and Bog moving down there. It is going to be a straight Necro Book rush, actually, for that Beastmaster. Let's put those Necro minions onto the Nyx Assassin, onto the Alchemist, make sure that they can't use their invisibility to escape. Tides of Time taking a lot of creep shots. He's going to go on the chase for Nature's Prophet. He's not going to catch us, though, although with the Surge onto Fog, they might actually do it. Axe is going to fly. Roar will fly, and Mania is as good as dead. Hex, Shock, Shackle if they need it. Vacuum will kill off the Nature's Prophet. Tower for Nature's Prophet. It's the first tower of the game, so I guess that might be worth it for AL, although Nature's Prophet would have obviously preferred not to die. Dream Coil as well as Initiation from Way Too Sexy onto 2. Miracle trying to stay as far as he can away from that tether. He is going to break it, however he is invisible. There's a Sentry Ward being dropped off. Fogged, going to lay down an Urn Charge, another Sentry Ward as well. Looking for blind axes possibly. Oh, there's an Illusory Orb. Nyx Assassin trying to do the juking action. Unfortunately, he runs right into the orb. It's going to be another kill for Team Dignitas. 3-8 is the score so far, and Team Dignitas just accruing these small advantages. Han Solo going to look for the bear. He is going to chuck out his Unstable Concoction. He's going to go for the Maelstrom. I do like this build on Alchemist. People used to call it Poor Man's Radiance. However, I think it's found its own little niche. And Unicorn, with that item, is going to be a pushing monster. He's going to start getting a little bit more acid spray after getting that level 2 on that Chemical Rage. And he's going to be able to pressure Dignitas a little bit because, well, really AL, they need to pressure Team Dignitas because they're just having all the time in the world to do whatever they want. They have pretty much complete map control, with the exception of right here where we might see an attempt at AoE at least. Nature's Prophet's going to have to come in. There's the stun. Biggle going to lift him up into the air, probably pull him away from his tower. Han Solo doing a lot of damage, and Rubik with the Fade Bolt will kill off the lone Druid. Nature's Prophet ultimate helping out a lot from that. No teleportation needed. A lot of gold for the Rubik right there. However, now they're in a little bit of trouble. Fogged is coming in with the Roar with level 1 Necrobook and Miggle. Not exactly healthy. These Necro units are summoned. Tree's going to get chopped up. And Fogged is on the hunt for Miggle. Roar, you cannot teleport away from this Hawk. He will spot you out and he will kill you. Unicorn is going to slip away from that in the meantime. The rest of AL in the mid lane have been pushing that out as well. Tides of Time on the front lines. Shock clearing out the creep wave, but there's a Dream Coil being dropped onto Mania. Silence is going to cancel off that teleportation attempt. There's the ward trap. Unfortunately, failure onto Miracle. Tides of Time is going to be saved by a huge vacuum from the universe. Beautiful from him, but here comes the Alchemist, going to beat down that puck in 3 hits. So far, it is a 2 for 2. Han Solo is going to make his way out with Miracle. He's going to run straight into Bog over Impale, going onto Universe, and Han Solo, unfortunately, is out of Chemical Rage. Does have his invisibility in 3 seconds, so he should be fine to escape from this. These heroes are the 2 heroes that do not have any True Sight just yet. The level 3 Necrobook will definitely help once that happens, but it's a 2 for 2 trade. I do think it's fairly even. Puck did go down, unfortunately, for Team Dignitas. Rise, unfortunately for him, was not involved in any of that. The call down would have been a lot more damage, a lot more helpful. Probably would have led to another kill. And unfortunately for Unicorn, jumping in right as his Chemical Rage was wearing off, you have a small amount of downtime in this spell. How long does it last? 25 seconds with a 45-second cooldown, so yeah, the 20-second window, he jumped in at the worst time possible. But he is going to complete his Mjolnir now. Mjolnir is actually going to be a pretty damn good item. I'm not sure if Mjolnir procs on Serpent Wards. I'm not sure. It might. But wards always have a weird interaction. But regardless, the attack speed as well as the damage the Alchemist is going to be putting out. Let's take a look at how fast he attacks right now. Yeah, 2 attacks a second, no big deal. It's a lot of lightning that's going to be flying out. However, he's going to have to go through a lot of lightning because Team Dignitas is going to go straight for Roshan. And that's going to be a Roshan that is pretty much uncontested from AL. Even if they do know about it, I don't think they would be able to fight this. And yes, Roshan does go down, picked up by Aoi, going to instantly teleport up to this top lane. He has gone for that broken armlet on him. Niggle as well as Nature's Prophet trying to go for this top tier 1 tower. Miracle is here as well. Mane, though, going to get entangled. Lots of damage onto him. Aoi, is he going to smell something? He does see Miggle. However, Miracle is not in visible range. Meantime, Alchemist, yes. Sorry, I just, like, too early in the morning. I was watching Alchemist die, and I'm like, okay, he's dead. But I shouldn't mention anything about that. Impale on the bear. Rise is going to get the tower. He's going to drop his call down onto Fog, killing off the Hawk instantly. Not a big deal, though. Fog came in without the roar. You already used that to kill off the Alchemist. The Nyx Assassin is going to teleport out of there. However, way too sexy, arriving with another 2-man Dream Coil, throwing out all of his spells. Vacuum as well as the wall. Do heavy damage to Mane. He's going to try to teleport out of there. He will make it out alive. Rise, unfortunately, will not be as lucky. The Urn Charge will, no, bottling up. Well, playing forward from way too sexy will kill him off. And AL, they simply cannot get away with these pushes. Every time they attempt anything, Dignitas are right on top of them. They make sure that AL pay with many lives for every single tower that they attempt. Although they did take the tower, there's 3 tier 1 towers down. I believe they got bloodied up pretty badly for taking down the mid one and the bot one as well. And now Team Dignitas is going to take a uncontested tier 2. Team Dignitas getting further and further ahead this game, despite the fact that the gold actually is largely in the way of AL. That's mostly because of Unicorn with that Grievel's Greed, farming it up. It's really pushing the farm advantage towards the favor of Team AL. However, Team Dignitas, with a huge experienced lead, and with the momentum lead, something that you can't really measure in a chart, will have the Serpent Wards up in another 50 seconds, do still have the Aegis on Aoi. And right now, what they're going to do is look constantly for tower snipe-offs. And if any enemy hero gets in the way, I'm sure they'll be okay with that as well. With Roshan still up, Aoi does have that armlet up, and he's going to go for, more and more items. He's going to have a race with Han Solo, however. It's going to be a race that's going to be very difficult for the Lone Druid to win, because Alchemist does have that Grievel's Greed and does have an intense farming item. Good synergy between those two. Clear off the creeps that much quicker, which means experience is going to flow, as well as the gold, of course. Han Solo is going to go for a BKB, a much needed item. However, he's going to go up against a bear with Entangled. He's going to go up against a Beastmaster with a Roar. Even though he will be magic immune, the damage won't come through from those spells, but the disable sure as hell will. And an Alchemist that's not attacking is a very sad Alchemist indeed. Doesn't have lifesteal yet, so he's not really reliant on that to really keep himself alive. He will have just a lot of HP regen, especially once he hits that level 3 mark where he gets, what, 60 health regen? Yeah, 60 health regen per second. It's going to be very difficult for Team Dignitas to burn through that. However, AL, pretty much all their hopes lie in this one hero. Rise isn't really being all that effective. He does have a Helm of the Dominator, which will help him survive a little bit to get another Rocket Barrage off perhaps, but he's a very, very long way off into transitioning into any sort of damage per second roll. As I'm talking about that, we see another pick off from Team Dignitas, going to snatch that Rubik. But yeah, Rise, very, very long ways off until he actually does any considerable amounts of damage outside of his spells, of course. It's one of the beauties of the gyrocopters, that he'll do damage even though he may not get a lot of farm, but they really need a lot more damage from AL because Unicorn's going to get locked down, pretty much guaranteed. Nyx doesn't really have all that much. Rubik has nothing. Nature's Prophet going to go straight for a Hex, I suppose. Which is going to help a little bit, but really, who do you hex? Do you hex Owie? Do you hex his bear? Do you hex double damage Fogged with a level 3 Necrobook? It's tough decisions, And Team Dignitas can hold on to the Serpent Wards. They don't even need it for this. Demolish as well as a bear with armlets. All they need, and they're going to go down to the bot lane where Mania and try to teleport out. The Dream Coil, oh, no Dream Coil needed. Yule Scepter can interrupt Mania's teleportation. He's going to try to hide in the trees, sprout himself up. His only hope, but Illusion Orb will give them more vision, as well as John's way too sexy right into the trees. Mania does have an Ion Shell on him, does have an Angry Bear mob after him. And Owie is going to pick up that kill. Nature's Prophet once again throwing away his life for nothing. He put some damage on the tower, but 0-3-3 on him. He's going to trade it for the top lane where Rise as well as Unicorn have been pushing that out. That will give Alchemist enough gold to finish up his BKB. Now for Team Dignitas, they're just getting these picks, and Owie slowly and steadily recovering from his poor early game. Ooh, that was close. A little bit higher, and that Nyx would have been trapped. Throw on a Impale, but here comes the Blinking Tides of Times. Picked up a Blink Dagger. Where did you get the gold? Wards are going to drop, as well as Shackle. However, the Spike Carapace canceling that Shackle. Very, very well played from Miracle, whether intentionally or not. It did benefit him quite a bit. Blink forward, another 2 seconds. Way too sexy on the chase. Dream Coil, not in range. Yule Scepter, not in range. That means the Nyx Assassin is going to not only escape, but also draw out the Wards for Team Dignitas. Team Dignitas do have enough power, in my opinion, to go for the tier 2 tower even without the wards, but still a huge team fighting tool, a huge pushing tool that the Shadow Shaman is going to have to wait a very, very long time for. They're not the highest cooldown spell in the game, but when you cast it like that and you get nothing for it, then it feels like an eternity. But right now, with the farm that Shadow Shaman has managed to find, he's not going to mind all that much, despite the fact that it will slow down Team Dignitas' plans. A Blink Dagger on a Shadow Shaman means that he is no longer just a walking pair of wards. He actually has mobility. He could initiate with a Blink Hex. That is one of, if not the best way, to initiate any fight. Blink Sexy can take a little bit of damage. Does he have any True Sight? He does have a gem, so he sees Miracle, Mana Burn, Impale. Unfortunately, a little bit mistimed, and way too sexy though. Yule Scepter, call down. Kaboom! No, he dodged one. He dodged the other, and way too sexy. Yep, nope. Rocket Barrage, Nyx Assassin hits. Way too sexy tried as best he can, but Miracle is going to take that kill, as well as the gem from that puck. The gem's not going to be too useful except for clearing off wards, which they desperately need to do. Very aggressive warding from Team Dignitas, all up in the AL side of the map. However, I don't think Miracle is going to go into these areas anytime soon. Even if he does go over here, he can see it, but then what? Dignitas, they're going to let AL push the top lane just a little bit, but in exchange for that, they're going to get another tier 2. Serpent Wards are up in 10 seconds. They don't even need this, however. They could save these Serpent Wards for a fight, or for even pushing up the tier 3s. They're going to demolish this a lot faster than Team Dignitas can push their tower. Although the tier 3s are revealed, Rise doesn't do that much damage, and where is the Alchemist? He is dead. I completely missed that. I am so sorry. Wow. I was watching the puck action, I think. That's what happened. Yeah, that has to be what happened. I wouldn't miss something like that, right? Right, guys? Right? Okay, Tides of Time has moved back, so no Serpent Wards. Serpent Ward's going to be dropped onto the tier 3s. Lifting up the bear as well as the Rocket Barrage will kill it off. A nice 100 gold income from for Rise, but the resummon is up and it will be used immediately. Owie, gonna make sure that bear always is on the front lines with that armlet turned on. And Team Dignitas have cleaned out every single tier 2 tower from AL, and look at this. I love this from Team Dignitas. Take out the mid. Make sure there's an Observer Ward there. Make sure there's an Observer Ward near where the tier 2 top was. Make sure the bottom lane has his vision as well, although Miggle not really looking to make that stick. But just forming this ring of vision in this map, Team Dignitas will know anyone who is entering or leaving the AL base without smoke, which is pretty huge because knowledge is power and knowing is half the battle. And just by planning that out, in combination with the Hawk, now with Boots of Travel, we're going to be seeing Fogged play a little bit of a Honey-esque Beastmaster, using that Hawk to teleport straight onto it, pop off the Roar, pop off the Necrobook units, and then just go to town. Mania, you don't teleport out right now, you're going to die. Blink forward from way too sexy. Oh! Yule Scepter, though, this time a little bit too late. I feel like he could have, although he didn't really know where the Nature's Prophet was, so unlike last time we were at full vision. Actually, he had full vision because the trees were there. I don't know. Way too sexy could have gotten that off. Need faster fingers. Console on this bottom lane. demolishing the tier 2 tower. Doesn't have that much straight up damage because a lot of his damage does come from that lightning. Teleportations onto his bot lane, however, Wake is actually leaning once again for initiation. However, the gem is on no one. They lost the gem, right? They do have Necrobook units, which is True Sight. But I think that's it. No, gem is actually on Universe. Did they kill off the other gem? No, okay, there's a gem on both sides. Gem on both sides. There's more than one gem on the field right now. Now we're going for a rather late Radiance. Not going to be the most useful versus the heroes, but the damage you have from the armlet, that's pretty much more than enough than you need for the heroes. This bear is right now all going to be about the split push. Put 4 heroes on Team Dignitas in one lane. I'll actually put all 5 and put the bear on another. The split push that you get from the Radiance will be absolutely huge. Miracle looking for initiation possibly onto Owie. It's going to be a lot of meat to chew through. He's going to need help from the Nature's Prophet, but aside from that, there's no one else who's in the area, so I don't think Miracle can actually go for this. Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through, doing pretty much nothing. Going to be healed 100% or most of it from that Tranquil Boots. Now smoke up. Team Dignitas looking for blood on the top lane. Mania is going to teleport on out of here. However, it's going to be the Alchemist who's a little bit more trouble. There's the blink forward. Hex from Tides of Time. Han Solo needs to get shackled. He will get shackled. Pulled back from the vacuum as well. And Fogged with the axes will kill off the Alchemist. Alchemist really can't afford to be dying right now. He's going to go for a Belt of Giant Strength. Head towards something that bashes faces. Will help a lot combined with that high attack speed. BKB unfortunately unable to come out because of that blink dagger on Tides of Time. Something you see on the Shadow Shaman quite often whenever Shadow Shaman can afford it. Pretty much, it's if I can afford it, I will get it all the time. But I will never ever be able to afford it, or in most cases. But really, just that blink instantly into a Hex will mean that the Alchemist is going to die. No, not even enough time to pop off Invisibility or BKB or anything like that. Miggle going to get chased down by Way 260 as well as the Universe. He's going to take a silence from the Waning Rift, and then Universe with the Ion Shells as well as the regular right click. Shiva's Guard to initiate that as well. Going to find a kill on Rubik, and Roshan is up. Owie with the damage is going to tear down that Roshan while taking very little damage in return. AL once again with 2 players on the sidelines. They cannot afford to contest this. If they do, they die and they probably lose Raxes. So it's going to be another double life given to Owie most likely. Tides of Time going to jump in for a little bit of experience. We'll hit the level 13 mark as well as having those Serpent Wards up. They could go for a little bit of a high ground attempt, although Mania being troublesome on this top lane. Really, the split push from AL, even though they do keep on getting picked off, it's really what's keeping them in this game, because Team Dignitas, you can see before, forced Shadow Shaman onto this top lane just to try to defend this. Nature's Prophet is going to keep putting pressure to that top lane with a tier 3 tower already down to half HP. However, Team Dignitas may not be willing to wait for that to happen. The creep wave is pushed out rather far on this top lane. They're going to drop the Sentry Wards. They have a very angry bear. Now with the Hyperstone, you're going to try to look for an Entangled Rise. Is going to get it. Are they going to go for this? No, they're not. They're okay with letting the Serpent Wards as well as the Necrobook units do the damage. Stun going to fly, but the tower has already dropped. Lone Druid picking that one up. Serpent Wards are going to get cleaned up by AL. There's Universe pulling 2 down onto the low ground. Dream Coil as well as Roar onto Miggle. He's going to die in an instant. Mania caught on the wall. He's going to die as well. Han Solo popping off everything that he has. Going to go to town, whoever he can find. Going to kill off Tides of Time. Going to go straight for Universe. Han Solo is taking everyone solo already with a double kill. Going to chase down Fogged as well as Way 260, but BKB has run out. He's going to get sent up into the air. Way 260 going to illusory orb on out of there. Meantime, Owie getting chased down by Miracle. He's going to try to get out of there, but no. The Impale, the Spike Carapace from the Bear is going to cancel that TP, but Owie back into this game. But without that true form, he is going to die. And Han Solo going strong, going beast mode all over Team Dignitas. Yes, they lost a tier 3 tower, but that is the best fight that they've taken all game. Team Dignitas, that was perfect initiation, pulling 2 down to the high ground, instantly picking them off, but they just couldn't deal with the damage that this Alchemist was putting out. BKB, lightning was flying, killed Tides of Time in like 2 hits. This Alchemist is incredibly terrifying. Exactly what I was talking about. They are putting a lot of eggs into this Alchemist basket, and for that fight at least, it paid off. They took out the Aegis, they took out a whole bunch of Team Dignitas heroes, and they might even take a tier 2 as well. Han Solo is only going to get stronger, has another item slot to fill after he finishes his Abyssal Blade. Get rid of that magic wand, get something fun, get something like a Daedalus or something. I think that's fun, Daedalus. And Rise. He's going to actually go for a Satanic. Yeah, this Rise he's not really doing all that much damage. Titanic does give you a little bit of damage, but it's really primarily a survivability tool. Call Down as well as Rocket Barrage is going to be what Rise is going to be reliant on the most to do the damage. Possibly a double damage route. That'll help a whole lot, especially if Unicorn can get his hands on that one. It doesn't seem they know that that ward is up there, but Alchemist with double damage killed Tides of Time in like 3 hits before. That's 2 hits. I mean, 2 hits and then a whole bunch of overkill on top of that. Miracle gonna look for Aoi on this bottom lane. Not sure why Aoi isn't in his true form. At this point, 1300 HP. He is a little bit easier or more viable of a kill for Miracle, whereas if he is in that true form, no, not a chance. There we go, another 1000 HP on top of that. Everyone from Team Dignitas grouped up on the top lane. Do have the Serpent Wards up, and the last time they used Serpent Wards, they took down a tier 3. They could probably make another push for the mid lane. However, this time they do not have their Aegis available to them. Next Roshan that will revive in a very long time. However, that will be a Roshan with cheese. I don't know who Team Dignitas will put that on. Aoi is probably going to be the best with the Aegis. Cheese possibly on the Puck or the Beastmaster. Beastmaster Aura. If he keeps himself alive, he'll keep the bear doing the damage. But both sides mostly just going to just stay safe and farm. Miracle gonna head up towards the top lane. I don't know what he's looking to accomplish. He's not gonna find anyone. However, he doesn't know that, of course. Sentry Ward as well as Observer is gonna spot out Miracle. So yeah, he's now in a little bit of danger. Everyone from Team Dignitas moving forward. Gem on the Darkseer leading the way. Tides of Time needs to get to the front lines for that Hex. Nick Assassin hiding in the jungle. He knows that shit's gonna go down, and he's going to hide himself because he did spot them all out with that Observer Ward. Miracle, ooh. I think that Puck Orb was a little bit too short to give vision. That's going to mean that Team Dignitas all pulled up to the top lane, gonna get absolutely nothing done. However, AL not really capitalizing that much right now either. Just gonna give Han Solo a little bit more farm. Can complete his Abyssal Blade, however, that will put him outside of that buyback zone, where only he and Puck have buybacks at the moment. Really, AL, they need more items, but at the same time, they need to get buyback gold, especially Rise. That doesn't have the buyback just yet. He is 400 gold away from that. I really hate how it... Yeah, I like how it tells you over here, but I don't like how it doesn't tell you down here. Surge onto Universe. He's looking for someone to spot out, and he's going to find Miggle. Backed up by Mania, he's going to go forward. There's the Dream Coil onto 2 once again. Way too sexy with these Dream Coils. Going to get a 3-man silence as well. Miggle going to drop Rise. Standing his ground with the BKB, doing some pretty heavy damage. Mania, though, is going to drop, and Rise not doing enough damage because, as I said before, not a single damage item. Universe, you don't really want to be there. They don't have a Force Staff, however, so Universe is forced to stay there. The mid lane is getting pushed in, and Team Dignitas, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're just standing around. They could just go straight for this mid racks, force AL back, and even if they are back, I guess they have to deal with Han Solo who's going to clear all this off, but yeah, they're just going to go super defensive. Team Dignitas not willing to lose any of their tier 3 towers. Aoi, though, is going to go to this mid lane. Has not any support with him yet. However, with this bear's damage, he'll tear down this tower. This Rax, I'm sorry. Melee Rax gonna fall, range Rax gonna fall shortly after. Do they have any true sight? They don't. Miracle gonna look for initiation. Here comes Han Solo gonna lay down, beat down onto Fog, killing him within the duration of 1 stun. Tide of Time is going to get a shackle onto Miracle, but it's not gonna matter all that much. The Alchemist looking for anyone he can find to do some damage to. Tide of Time is going to get impaled. He does have that Ghost Step to save him from the Alchemist, but in the end it will be a Fade Bolt that does kill him. However, Team Dignitas losing 2 heroes did not lose Aoi, which is the real big important fact. And Han Solo, he did get all those kills, but they lost their Raxes. So Team Dignitas, I'm not sure if they're going to be okay with that trade, but the trade that they're going to have to take whether they like it or not. Unicorn getting incredibly powerful right now is going to finish his Abyssal Blade. This is actually, yeah, flying out to him right now. 3,400 gold, does still have that buyback. So Alchemist, he needs to be locked down by Team Dignitas. If they get a good coordinated fight where they, roar the Alchemist and ideally pick him off before anyone else from AL can intervene, then that's going to be it. He needs to be the roar target. Anyone else is a complete waste. Rise does do a little bit of damage, but you saw in this engagement right over here, it's clearly not enough damage. Everyone else, if you disable them, I guess you can get rid of the Levitate, get rid of the Hex, get rid of some damage that actually Nature's Prophet is starting to build up as well. But even if he has BKB up, you need to roar this Alchemist, just because if he has that BKB up and you roar him, that's half of the BKB time wasted, where he's literally just standing there doing nothing. You don't even have to focus him, it's just a defensive tool at that point. The Roar has to go on him. The Bear has to go for that Alchemist. Anything else is a complete waste of Team Dignitas' time and will not win them the game, because Unicorn is getting incredibly buff right now. 4100 gold. Could go for something like a Heart, actually. He's doing more than enough damage, I would say. Just go for the unkillable route. Maybe an AC. More attack speed. You can never have too little attack speed. Time. Gonna get Hex on Han Solo. He doesn't even have his ultimate up. There's the wall. Drop this. Rise. Popping on his BKB, doing as much damage as he can. Han Solo gonna pop everything that he has. Gonna turn around, try to go for Universe. Gonna get the stun, but the Ghost Scepter gonna save him from any additional damage. Universe gonna try to lifesteal a little bit off the Bear, but he's getting beat down onto him this time. He's gonna drop down, shackle onto him. He's still not dying with that regeneration. 67 regeneration per second, and everyone from Team Dignitas is melting. Han Solo gonna walk out of there alive, dipping below 100 HP, and he's going to survive. Incredible regeneration coming out from this Alchemist. And wow, if I'm Team Dignitas, I will be pissed. That was perfect initiation for them. They got the Blink Hex onto the Alchemist without his Chemical Rage up, but unfortunately it just was not enough. Now Fogging it, lifting to the air, Rise, gonna Rocket Barrage him down, as well as the Axes. Han Solo carrying his team to victory with his damage, just being a huge meat sack that's unkillable. Now Team Dignitas, they're gonna lose their bottom Raxes. They're gonna lose the top Raxes as well. 20 seconds until Way Too Sexy is up, but that's not a big deal. Melee Raxes is down, range Raxes is down, and everyone from AL is just gonna eat through those tower shots. Already Mania is there, and this tower, not long for life, is going to get destroyed very, very quickly. Han Solo with the damage. Everyone else just mostly backing the Alchemist up. And also, I guess I cannot stress the importance of this enough. They bought time for the Alchemist the entire game. Alchemist has dropped a couple of deaths, but really, he was given all the space in the world to get those big items up. And those big items, that's what AO was aiming for this entire time. Rise, I mean, he did do a decent amount of damage. Just having that flat cannon will always make you a decent threat, but nowhere near the size threat that Han Solo is right now. Unicorn is really the only thing that kept AL in this game. Aside from that, is what's going to win them this game pretty much single-handedly. Split push, the space that the rest of the team made is going to enable the Alchemist to do that. However, Team Dignitas, they're not out of this yet. If they did not have their tier 2 tower in the mid lane, then they would have been down to probably 2.5 Raxes, I would say. That would have been pretty much GG at that point. They would not be able to kill the Alchemist on top of handle Mega Creeps. However, they do still have a shot. They cannot wait for too long. They have to go with their Roar and then with their Serpent Wards as well as the wall. If they have all that, they can make a Doom push down the mid lane, possibly take this Rax and either go for the GG, which, depending on how well the fight goes, could be a viable option for them, or slide down to one of the side lanes. Bot lane took a little bit of damage, top lane not as much as the bottom lane, but still both towers very, very durable. So we're just going to wait just a little bit. Let's get back into this game. Here we go. So AL, with one fell swoop, going to increase the gold advantage, skyrocket it, in fact. The Alchemist farm really pouring that advantage on. And you can see right now, it was Team Dignitas ahead the entire time until that one fight where Unicorn said, I am done, the fun is over, and I am done farming, I'm going to come out and kill everybody. And that's exactly what he did. Now Mana even packing a little bit of gold, probably going to go for an MKB, get that additional mini stun, possibly on the Shadow Shaman. But either he goes MKB or Daedalus. In the end, it's just going to mean more damage from Mania. That means Team Dignitas are going to have to focus that secondary hero, and Alchemist is completely stacked out. He is completely done with his item build. I guess possibly switch out Power Treads for boosted travel, because right now he has no mobility. But he is done. That's it. That's it. He's maxed out. Give all the farm to everyone else in your team now. Possibly Rise is going to go for a little bit more damage himself. And Team Dignitas, they're not looking good. They've been looking good all the way up to that last fight where Alchemist just went all nuts all over them. Another pause. Let's just skip right on through this. Team Dignitas, they have to take a good fight now. That means Roar on the Alchemist. That means a good vac wall. They have to kill off the Alchemist, they have to kill off Rise. And once those two heroes are down, everyone else from AL, they have no more durability. However, oh god, this is going to be really, really vicious. 14, what the hell? Why? Vlads? Does anyone have Vlads? Screw Vlads. Oh, you do have Vlads, okay. I thought Han Solo was life-stealing, but a Roshan attempt is going to be the name of the game. Alchemist is going to get bashed up just a little bit. However, with that regeneration, it's already proven itself, 60 HP regen per second, that they are okay with taking a little bit of preliminary damage on that Alchemist as long as he has enough time to regenerate that back up. Team Dignitas take that Roshan. It's going to be huge for them. It's like they do still have enough damage to do this. Han Solo in the front lines, toss that stun out. However, there's initiation. Once again, Han Solo does not have that ultimate. No, he does have that ultimate. Miracle going to get a stun onto Fog. Wards have been dropped. Lone Druid, though, does have a double life. Han Solo is going to get roared up. Not enough damage to kill him, though. Where's the damage? Dignitas aren't doing enough damage. There's the Hex through the BKB, which has already been timed out. Han Solo going to get shackled up as well. Is there any support? No, there's not. Rise is not doing enough damage now, and the Alchemist is down. The Alchemist is down, and Rise is going to fall shortly after. That's 2 down from Team AL. They're going to go for a third. Miracle's going to die as well, but instant buybacks from the 2 heroes that did in fact go down. Roshan is up. Where did the cheese go? I'm not sure. Cheese on the Lone Druid as well. Howie said it's all mine. But unfortunately for Team Dignitas, that buyback from the Alchemist, buyback from the Gyrocopter is preventing them from actually pushing in and solidifying their chances in this game, really, by taking a second set of Raxes or even going for the straight GG, because now Gyrocopter is packing a lot of damage now. He's going to go for Daedalus, going to have that in relatively short order. Alchemist, as I said before, is completely maxed out. There's nothing additional that he could build, and Daedalus is already completed on the Nature's Prophet. So yeah, the damage from AL is no longer focused all on this Alchemist. You don't get me wrong, you still have to focus the Alchemist. There's no other option for them. But once they do that, they're going to have to deal with a lot of damage from the Gyrocopter. He's going to have basically a cheese on him with that Satanic, if he does, of course, manage to get that Satanic Unholy Rage. Oh yeah, how do I know these things? This is insane. How do I know Unholy Rage is the Satanic spell and I don't know that Universe is on Team Dignitas? That's kind of sad. But him and Mania are going to be dishing. Mania not so much. A Daedalus is going to increase your damage, yes, but he doesn't have that amplifying factor of having that flat cannon. Rise just wants to get his Daedalus before the next fight, and Team Dignitas, what is going to be their course of action? They bought up a Basher on the Bear as well as a Maelstrom, I believe. I saw that. No, just double Basher. I could have sworn someone picked up a Maelstrom. Maybe he sold it and got a Basher. Okay, I must have been what's happened, but double Bash. And Owie is playing this incredibly smart, because Basher is one of the few things that does go through a BKB Alchemist, and well, it's also one of the most effective ways to shut down an Alchemist outside of a Sheep Stick, which Lone Druid probably not going to go for when he can go for something that does a little bit more damage. Plus 40 damage, nothing to sneeze at, although it is incredibly cost ineffective as far as the damage per gold ratio. That Bash is going to keep the Alchemist down, and with the Bashes on the Bear as well as the Lone Druid himself, they could lock down the Alchemist on top of Rise. Let's say Rise and Alchemist get locked down. Then everyone else from AL, they're not a threat, so you just pick them off one by one. We're going to have a little bit of a smoke engagement now. Fog does the boots of travel, but he's going to have to rejoin this fight incredibly quickly. They do need his roar. Milk going to get blindsided. There's the 2-man Dream Coil up as well. Unicorn going to go to town with Tides, kill him off in 2 hits. He's going to go straight for Owie. However, there's the Bash going to go through. Roar as well. Han Solo is unable to attack anything. He's going to turn around though. Going to try to go for Fog. He is going to shred him down. Universe is the next target. He does have the Ghost Scepter, however, so he's not going to be able to finish that off. Owie on the run after resurrecting with his Age of the Immortal. However, Han Solo with that Shadow Blade is going to chase him down. First hit Bash as well. And 4 down for Team Dignitas. Buyback from the Darkseer. But that's not going to be enough to stop this impending push from AL. And they're going to call GG 22-27. And AL, wow, that was some game. All these people talking hype about the Liquid versus Fnatic game, where this game, I do like this game a lot more. It shows the power of Alchemist, and it shows the weakness that you get by not fully taking a set of Raxes, and not having a Lone Druid that's stacked enough to compete with a free-farming Alchemist for the entire game. So Team Dignitas losing it versus AL. So AL taking game number 1. I don't believe they've taken game number 1 before in any of their other sets, so hopefully we're going to see AL take their first victory in this tournament. I said before that it might have been too little too late for them, a lost cause, but hopefully they'll prove me wrong, because go AL. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this cast, like, subscribe. If you didn't, let me know I can do better in the future. But aside from that, I'm going to move on to game number 2. GG.